guess I want to talk to the younger guys, you know, the ones between 18 to 35. There's a lot of confusing shit out there, man. A lot of confusing shit out there. For a while, they were asking, what is a woman? Now I'm asking, what is a man? And there's a lot of convoluted opinions out there about what masculinity is. Well, let's change it up a bit in the sense of, instead of just calling it masculinity and femininity, the divine masculine and the divine feminine aspects. And yeah, I think this is slowly becoming mainstream over the last few years, but this is something I've played with over the last 2 decades. Pardon my baby face. I still get carded. But I guess I'm old enough to be president. So, it's not my first rodeo. 5 kids, 2 sons, 3 daughters. I'm going to start talking about what it means to be a well-rounded human being. Because after a while, you start to look at things more universally, not so much as masculine and feminine. Flying high. Say well-rounded human being. Because we've all known that person. That man with a delicate touch. A manly man who can still cradle a baby. And we all know that woman. That woman with the hard fist and deep voice. You know, they just have a certain presence about them. Well-rounded. Usually we haven't seen that. We don't see that too often lately. So many people are so confused. To see a woman harnessing that ferocity, or to see a man expressing compassion, is confusing. And that's really fucked up. That's really fucked up. So before my channel turns into a strictly EDC, because that's what I like, that's what I carry every day, so it's relevant, I'm going to start talking about what it's like to be a dad in the 21st century. You know, because I'm a millennial, at the cusp of the questionable generation and the toxic generation. A true 90s baby. You know, we grew up learning how to do math, arithmetic, with an abacus. We had calculators, but we learned how to use an abacus. And that shit got phased out real quick. We're the generation who walked around with a Walkman and quickly became obsolete with our Game Boys and PlayStations. We were the ones that went from analog to digital. And we were the ones who are now calling the shots. This is our generation. And not all of us are. What's the appropriate word? Not all of us are diluted. But some of us did lose our way. So, before my channel becomes a strictly EDC, I want you to know that the description of my channel has remained pretty consistent. Pardon me while I play. Let me leave you with one more thing. One more thing. Play. That play mentality. A lot of people chalk it up as silly. Take it from me. That inner child, you know, that one everybody chases when they're at their midlife crisis. It's a lot simpler to grasp if you stop overthinking. You remember when you were a kid? You would just play on the playground. You never seen a monkey bar before, but you got on that motherfucker and you started swinging. You even kicked your knees around it and hung upside down. You didn't really think, you're just kind of playing with your friends. And you thought, man, that's because I was young and my brain was so malleable. No, neuroplasticity is a thing. So your brain doesn't stop growing. Some people have calcified a bit, but your brain never stops developing. But what changed? It was your open mind and your willingness to explore. When you were a kid, you saw the sky and you were like, wow, the clouds are so low today. The sky is so blue. Is that an ocean up there? Like, you were just so full of questions, inquisitive. And that's it. You tapped into something. Not the divine feminine, not the divine masculine. You tapped into the divine. And that's what kids do all the time. So today, when you're going out there, I got some jobs in downtown Charlotte today. Don't forget to play. And what do I mean? Let's reiterate that, because motherfuckers are confused. When you're approached, when you encounter a situation where you need to adapt and overcome an obstacle, that anxiety you feel, as soon as you feel it, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Look down at that Swiss Army knife you're carrying and try to be creative. What can you do? If you're at school, class, it's time to do a mental hack. Whatever lesson you're doing today, how does that apply to your day? Take what you learned today and apply that to something silly. As silly as it is, it could be ridiculously irrelevant, but take one spark of knowledge that you gained today, one situation that you've gleaned something from, and play with it. Half the time it's going to be stupid in the beginning. But then, that other half is development. And you do that again tomorrow. And then you come check out, like, and subscribe. And I'll give you some more tips. No, I can't do that to you. I can't end with that fucking type of salesman pitch, because that's not what this is about. Honestly, the world and the state of the world really makes me sad. Sad as fuck. And as a result, I've become more gritty. But I haven't lost my compassion, and I think a lot of you can relate to that. We've just become firm. I know what works, and I'm not listening to people who have no experience or are trend chasers. So occasionally you'll see me. I love planes. What's up, dude? Occasionally you'll see me just doing mainstream stuff because I found something that interests me, and I'm playing. But man, you should see what I'm doing at work. You should see where I came from and what I've managed to accomplish in 10 years. I'm not a boaster. I'm just a guy walking around in his backyard while my kids are inside watching Doctor Who. I've got a few minutes. It's Sunday. I just finished reading my Bible. That's another thing. Read. I did a short the other day about the lessons of reading. There was an old book cover I had. And I'm so random, ADD. So just, if you can bear with me. I did a short, about, it just looks like a piece of paper, tattered. Got this old book. I got a lot of old books. But this wasn't a book cover that it was just tattered, ripped, and just fucked up. But it survived. Like the actual book cover, this was like the inside flap of the book cover with a message from the editors encouraging people to exercise their fifth freedom, which they put as reading and being informed. It's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful that that book cover was destroyed. That person did take the message and they kept that tucked away in the book, and I've managed to find it however many decades later. The message persists, but I didn't need that message. See, life has afforded me many fucked up circumstances, and by the grace of God, I have been able to overcome a majority of these, sometimes slower than others. But I have defeated many monsters. Metaphorical. I don't want this channel to become just EDC, though it's a passion. But you know, life is crazy and anything helps. So, you know what gives me joy? Being prepared. Check this out. Today, I got my Buck 55 and a classic SD Swiss Army knife, A-locks, in that sheath I made, still patinaing beautifully. This is a, look at all these old World War II blades. This is a sail stitch, because this is how you would like attach a grommet to a sail or repair a torn sail. One day I'm gonna get a sailboat, 35 foot. I'm gonna sail as far as I can. Ever since I was a kid, I've been learning things. Truly, everything you see on YouTube now with outdoors and EDC related, I've been doing. I'm gonna finally let my ego out a bit. Yeah, I've been doing this shit since I was born. And I see old ass men in their 50s talking about it too. And I have no doubt that you carried around a pocket knife that your granddaddy recommended when you were a kid. And you cherished that thing and you did whatever and you learned a lot. But I'm telling you, a lot of these motherfuckers be shrugging me off and I just laugh and I don't really fight back. I don't need to. Like, I'm really past that. I know what I know and I know I'll be here. And I just watch people who think they know what they talk about. And sometimes I'm like, yeah, you got the right idea. And other times I'm just like, I'm gonna let you keep thinking that way because you were just talking shit not too long ago and disliking my videos. So you just keep thinking that way and you'll learn the way I learned, the hard way. And it is what it is. So this is a channel all about life. This is for young men and young ladies too, because I have an 18-year-old daughter. I have a 6-year-old daughter. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I'm raising queens. So although I am not a woman, and I don't know exactly at all what it's like to be a woman, to deal with what you deal with every day, I do know what it's like to raise young ladies. And I think I can offer some insight. Because my 18-year-old, my daughter Gracie, man, she gritty. She is gritty. Like, she's such a princess, but at the same time, she'll totally fuck you up. It's funny. It's the contrast, and I love that. Let's go back to that idea of what I was saying in the beginning. Divine masculine and divine feminine. My daughter Gracie is that feminist you don't want to fuck with. I love it. So stick around. This is me shit posting. Pardon the ego. I don't let it out much. But I was feeling inspired. I just read my Bible. I'm about to go read it again. And also, it's not just, I'll explain later. I've explained it in my long form videos before, my theological leanings. Today it's the Bible because God is one. God is an artist. And although there's a lot of misdirection out there, He's spoken to many cultures in many different ways. And our task here is to act as archaeologists for the Word and to find that divine spark in everything and to filter out what we know is not God. Because you know deep down in your heart, when you hear truth, you're just like, that's no argument, that just makes sense. Like when somebody drops some wisdom and it's just like, you've never heard it before, but you're just like, you know what? It just rings. It's just like, yeah, duh. And you kind of want to make a little meme about it or something. Like, that's truth. And that's how truth hits you, like a fucking bell. So anyways, thanks for watching. Holy shit, 15 minutes. Little buck. Buck 55. And Forester, big sack. Take it easy. Oh, live long and prosper.